This urban electric scooter is built to last. With 35-kilometer range, super wide 10-inch tires and bike lane regulation compliance sounds like a good idea to you? Check out the Xiaomi-backed Himo L2. Let's inspect.
Hey everybody, really nice to meet you. My name is Michael and welcome back to the channel. I guess two major reasons why you might be here. First of all, because you want to learn everything important about this body behind me, which is the Himo L2. Secondly, probably because you want to see a bit more cool footage. So yeah, both of them are going to happen in the next minutes. So about this scooter, actually this year I've become very picky about the electric scooters that I choose to test. So this is designed and manufactured by yet another Xiaomi-backed company, but it's not the same which produces Mi Scooter series, which is Segway 9bot. This one is done by a company called Himo, and the model is L2, and luckily Himo and Segway are two very different companies, and although at the first sight I thought, look, they really are kind of similar with the Mi Scooter Pro and so on, but the reality is that both devices are very, very, very different. So in this video we're going to talk about the price, about the setup, the hardware specifications, and more importantly performance, and my feedback after a few weeks of riding it. So let's go! Before diving into the technical part, price. Very attractive for the specs combo, as you will notice. $600 is what it costs, likely to be offered mainly in Europe. And very important, it is compliant with most EU regulations, has a dedicated spot for a registration plate. Countries like Germany have this requirement. And two separate brakes. And more of that, which I'm going to mention a bit later. So yeah, it is a bit more expensive than Mi Scooter Essential. There are a number of good reasons to seriously consider the Himo L2 for your next scooter, if that's a good fit for your budget. Unboxing experience is okay. This pack was a survivor, luckily did not get caught in the floods in Europe during transportation, but as far as I understood, that was quite close. Well, if you haven't seen unboxing of a scooter before, it's just the standard way most of them arrive. The box is rather heavy, close to 22 kilos, and inside good amount of protective foam. While taking the scooter out of the box, I did realize it is indeed heavy, but not unbearably heavy, just enough to be considered as something to be careful with. Due to the size, it's not very transportation friendly, fits well in a car with a big trunk, but was not welcomed in the limited luggage space in Renault Captur, for instance, where the boot is 377 liters. So keep this in mind as well. The assembling part is limited down to tightening 5 screws. You need to put 4 on the handlebar and 1 for the front light. There are tools included, so you shouldn't have any troubles with this task, likely to get it done within just a few minutes. At the first sight, the scooter looked a bit too rugged to me, like not polished enough. But reality is that it's not meant to be otherwise, and I didn't initially realize how beautiful it actually looks, especially the black and white combination. While there also is the fully black edition, I loved this panda style. Before I show you the riding modes and experiences, 2 more tasks. First, to remind you to check the tire pressure, vital for the pneumatic tire's longevity. As you can notice, these are much wider than the average 10-inch tires, which is the main reason why riding turns out to be that comfortable. Secondly, I'd like to guide you through the rest of the technical specs because they're very important. 300-watt motor, a 374 watt-hour battery providing up to 35 kilometers range, the mentioned 10-inch rubber pneumatic tires, double braking system, wide maple board, supported rider's weight is up to 150 kilos, 3 riding modes, front and rear light, digital display with real-time speed indication, and total weight of close to 18 kilos. Very decent specifications, not only cover all the essentials, but provide a lot more than an average electric scooter. As for experience and analysis, we're gonna start with the motor. Given the greater peak power and flexibility, slopes of up to 20 degrees sound like a well-achievable challenge. Although 9bot Max has a 350-watt motor, on theory more powerful, I didn't notice any difference between it and the performance of Himo L2. So if you wonder whether it's more powerful than Mi Scooter Pro 2, I think it has slight edge in that sense. As for the speed, 25 km/h maximum, There are 3 modes supported: walking mode, up to 5 km per hour, eco, which goes up to 18, and the sports mode. All of that is switchable from the corresponding function button. As you can guess, acceleration in sports mode is a bit more aggressive. Most of the time the first gear is rather useless, unless you want to ride with the same speed as a walking person. Concerning the comfort, this has been by far the smoothest experience from all the 8 and 10 inches without suspension that I've tried. You've already seen the size of the tires, they're much larger and wider than the usual, and Himo L2 offers much smoother riding than similarly priced scooters with the so-called active suspension. Note that I don't say that just tires are better than good active suspension. I'm saying that wider pneumatic tires are a lot better and quieter than a cheap electric scooter with suspension. So they've totally nailed it. Design-wise, there seem to be some other great ideas. First of all, the widest board for scooter of this scale I've ever seen. Generally, there are quite many things that are rather big for the Himo L2. This tube is thick, the height, the length, clearance is not that perfect but still okayish. The overall feeling that you get while riding is that it's super solid, which it is. At some moments, it felt like almost unbreakable to me, so going off-road is a possibility as well. Speaking of breaking parts, since my scooter is famous for its folding mechanism, here's how to fold the Himo L2, nice and easy and a bit clumsy, and in a very different way, but works fine. One of the weirdest mechanisms I've seen so far, but since it doesn't crack or break, I don't really care as long as it continues to be that good. There are 2 brakes, separate and not separate at the same time. The handle on the right is kinda weird, only has a sensor which triggers the motor brake, as you can guess that's in the front wheel. The handle on the right combines the motor brake and the rear brake. Weirdly, there is no way to use the disc brake only. Because the motor is always involved, braking feels somewhat too sudden and aggressive. You get used to that in time though. Concerning the range, because I know many of you would ask about it, there isn't any odometer, so I was counting on the data from my watches and Google Maps estimations. But looks like I've been very close to 30 kilometers per charge, which given my close to 90 kilo weight is pretty good. I've had scooters which advertise 30 kilometer range and I achieved just half of that, so Himo is definitely among the range champions and gave me similar achievements to what I got with 9bot Max last summer. Okay, so far you've heard a lot of good things about it, so let's turn to the next page and talk about the drawbacks. No odometer as mentioned, a bit too aggressive motor brake, a bit bulkier than the usual, a bit heavier than the usual, lack of cruise control due to the EU regulations, and lack of smartphone app. If you don't recognize a threat in any of these misfits I noticed, then maybe this would be a great choice for you. As already stated, this scooter is built to last and a combination between extremely smooth, comfortable riding with a powerful and flexible motor, which in my opinion makes it one of the excellent underdog brands of this year, which could surprise you with great quality at a rather acceptable price. Or not, depends on many factors, and on your opinion and experience too, of course. So let me know what you think of the Himo L2, comment below and tell me if you would choose this over a Mi scooter or similar. So that's the end of this episode. Credits as usual to you for being my guests today and for watching the video till the end, to the website Geek Buying, who were kind enough to provide me this testing unit for a few weeks without any strings attached, and to the weather, which although quite hot was perfect for riding a scooter. Enjoy your day, take good care of yourself, and I'm Michael, gotta see you in the next episode. Bye!